Salutations, everyone, for seal number 41 of the MahaKaruna process. And I don't need to check the manual this time. Smile gently inside. While the technical people are setting up, let's play a small game. Let yourself go into a boring phase. I'm just laughing, seeing myself. Okay. Let yourself drop into a boring phase. Inside, see what it does. Hey, Anna. And now, smile inside while you have the boring face outside. Take a deep breath. Now smile inside and let it show in your face. Gently, no big teeth smile, just soft, happy. Okay, you get the face that you have. It's a simple state of happiness you have in your face. Keep that face and go bored inside. Okay, it feels unnatural. This short exercise of bored face, bored feeling, then bored face, happy feeling, happy face, happy feeling, and then bored face, happy feeling. It shows you the dissociative, how can I explain that? We humans have a way to sometimes express what we feel, and sometimes we're not expressing what we feel, and there's a dissociation of the emotion and the facial expression. Okay? And we have an emotional dissociation to our expression when it naturally happens when we are not honest with ourselves. Has nothing to do with being honest to the others. Nothing. It's sometimes we do this where we see happy faces, we're happy, but outside we have a bored face. And that's the kind of thing that can happen when we're just in conflict with, I want to be happy, but I actually am bored or sad or whatever else. We must not confuse the emotional and facial dissociation. Don't confuse this with your resting face, okay? I'm gonna try to just do my resting face. My resting face can look disinterested. But I'm not disinterested. I'm just completely resting my face with no expression. I have a friend that I've not seen for a long time, Swaha. She can be super happy, but her resting face is aggravated face. She looks at you like she really was not happy with you. But that's just her resting face. So people who know her feel, oh, so how are you doing today? You look happy. And she's like, yeah, I'm super happy. No, she doesn't make a face like that. But yeah, it happens that your resting face, that's just how your muscle gently fall. Now, there is a myth that your resting face will usually depict how you mostly feel inside. This is a myth, okay? It depends on which side you sleep. If you sleep on the sides, it naturally presses on your sides and it will define some wrinkles over time, okay? It depends on your natural head position, if you're usually forward or backwards or standing straight. Depends on the amount of cardio you have, the fat ratio in your body, and your physiognomy, okay? You know, this genetic effect of your entire family looks like that, okay? And then you compare this to social standards. What we've seen in magazines, on TV, in TV shows, it gave us preconceived ideas of how which emotion should be theatrically displayed, okay? And that exaggerated our expectation of how people should look when they are in this or that emotion, okay? So the resting face has nothing to do to how you feel. You take Shivani, for example. When she's listening, her natural state, she's just peaceful, and she goes like this. So if you see anyone do like this, I'll exaggerate it. It means like, what the hell are you thinking? Why are you doing that? I have an opinion. Okay, it looks like that, but when she's just peaceful, she's peaceful, but she's starting to have the resting face of, I'm going to find something bitchy to say soon. Okay, but it's her resting face. When you know her, you know that she's just peaceful. Okay, sometimes the resting face goes, okay, that's when she's like in her childish mood, but she has this resting face like, and there's a kind of smile in there, okay, but I mean, she could make this face if she's mad or sad or happy, it doesn't matter, okay, so your resting face is one thing. And it has nothing to do with what you really feel inside all the time. When you have a correct emotional facial association, like your expression will express what you feel. Sometimes this outward expression doesn't happen, so you go to your resting face. And now others might not understand you. And sometimes you are in a dissociation of your emotional to your expression. So emotional expressive dissociation. It's probably not a legal term, but it's how I'll call it today. And that's when your face is actually lying, or you're lying to yourself about how you really feel, okay? So I hope this will be constructive. This face stuff. Okay, good. Which is a nice intro to the attitude today, where we want to go into a state of letting go at the level of the emotion. Now, I'm not talking mourning. I know some of you have lost someone close recently. I'm not talking about mourning. I'm talking about not holding on to your value and your riches, your resource, not holding on to your emanation, okay? So if you want to gloriously radiate, you want to radiate gloriously, and you go like, like this, then you're not really meditating, okay? And you're not really doing a spiritual practice. So you're going to have your resting face, but your state of being is that you emanate, that you radiate, not with effort, but passively allow your divine being in your soul to just go through your human and flow into nature. The mantra is 6 words based on suru, which means shine. Okay? Shiny. The Sanskrit word surya means sun. Okay? Suru means shine. Okay? So don't fall in the trap of thinking you are the sun. We are not doing a mantra of Surya. It's a mantra of Suru, shine. Okay? So we're not the sun in this case. We are radiating or shining. Okay? Om Suru Suru Prasuru Prasuru Suru Suruya Swaha. Okay? The last Suru is Suruya. Okay? Basically shining onwards. Okay? It's not Surya, it's Suruya. Okay, the ya, the grammatical ya, that usually makes a link with all before, if it was a phrase. Okay? Shine, 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 shining. Let's cover the mudra. Okay? The mudra is the left hand going down. I want to show it. Usually you just let this on your lap and it points down, but don't do this crazy movement. It's just me showing it to the camera. Okay? So you just let your hand down with no stress on the wrist to pull it. Just let your hand down and stretch your finger a bit, but not forcibly. Okay? So this is simply letting go of. Passively letting go of. Okay? Specifically, this mudra is called the morning dew mudra, because the morning dew is something that you see on the vegetation in the morning. The dew is the water droplets. Okay, in French, la rosée du matin. The morning dew. This dew is a useful resource for nature, and you see it, but you don't own it. You don't control it. If you start to gather all the dew and put it into a glass, it's not dew anymore. It's a glass of water. So it loses the fact that it's morning dew if you try to control it. Okay? And this dew will emanate back into the atmosphere and disappear. So with your spiritual experience, with your own consciousness, like dew, you let it just emanate out. Okay? So it's not a humid mantra, it's the mantra shine, suru. So what's the relationship between shining and morning dew? It's the fact that a resource is just going away and you don't control it. Okay? So it's a emanation that goes into the world. Good. Let's first have something to emanate. Okay? Vajrana Vajrayana. Vajranaya, sorry. Vajrana Vajranaya. Amalakanda. Chandra Bahu. I'm using past steps, not in order, just the stuff that I remember on the top of my head. Going into a state of plenitude. I personally like Chandra Bahu because it's plenitude. Vajrana, Vajrayana Vajrana, Vajranaya. I forgot which one it was. Doesn't matter. Vajrana. Amlakanda, the fruits. The various fruits. Okay. So use any one of the seals, anything that in the process of MahaKaruna that makes you feel. So one of those that you remember that you really like. Chandrabahu, Amlakanda, shine, Om Suru Suru, gloriously shine, Prasuru Prasuru. Shine and shine again. Suru Suruya. Swaha. You can be happy or sad or neutral, and you can still shine. Regardless of your current human state, something of your higher nature is shining. You're not controlling it. So you could even do this practice while depressed. I don't recommend it. Maybe you should do integration or something to uplift yourself. But what shines is something that surpasses you. It's your spiritual self. It's the Om and the Swaha. Om Suru Suru, Prasuru Prasuru, Suru Suruya Swaha. Good. Take a deep breath. I'm going to use my guide. And you can too. We're going to start from seal 36. From the seal of feeling abundance. Okay? Om Visara Visara Home Path. You can do the mudra or not, doesn't matter. We just want to go into the mantra and the state. So you read your manual. Om Visara Visara Home Path. The plenty, the abundant. We go further with the acquiring of eloquent ancient wisdom. So the Brahma states of consciousness that surpass the human, that flows through your own mind. Okay? Om Aharazaravani Navetara Bunidhi Swaha. Just contemplate this state of mind. You probably don't remember the full class, all the wisdom about it. I'll give you hints. Okay? Next step. So many blossoms. So from the Brahma higher consciousness that just got through us, so much awakening happens everywhere. Like little bubbles, like armies of awakening blossoms. Okay? Om Senamaja Swaha. Om Senamaja Swaha. So many awakening. Step 39 of the true self revealed. Vajrana Vajramaya. It's Maya. So with the Yana Naya I was off. It's Maya. See, made of the Vajra state. Okay, remember that was the mudra. Om Vajrana Vajramaya. Densifying the Vajra, made of the Vajra state. Om Vajrana Vajramaya. Receiving abundant wisdom from Brahma, producing so many awakening, allowing the incarnation of the Vajra, making me into a Vajra being. Step 40. And the blossoming of all the fruits that we desire. Amala Kamanda Nanam. Oh yeah, Nanam various, of course. Om Amlakamda Nanam Swaha. Om Amlakamda Nanam Swaha. Om Amlakamda Nanam Swaha. Good. So that puts you in a good state of being. And this fruitful, abundant consciousness radiates with the morning dew mudra. I'm kind of tempted to call it the mountain dew because I see it, vegetation in a mountain, but then it becomes, a beverage brand, so we don't do it. It is the refreshing dew mudra. Om Suru Suru Prasuru Prasuru Suru Suru Yaswaha. Let your consciousness shine. There's a letting go in there where you allow it to just go. Where you just permit it. Important things to know for the human. You don't know what or who you will shine on. Om Suru Suru Prasuru Prasuru Suru Suru Yaswaha. And if you gain awareness of who or what you shine on, your opinion about it remains irrelevant. Humility is the attitude. Now, the challenge there is where we pretend that we love unconditionally. Oh, maybe I gave a class of unconditional love. Let's do a little summary of that. A mother loves her child unconditionally because she will love the child regardless. So we call this unconditional love. But it is conditional love. It is not unconditional. The mother will love everything about her child conditionally that it's her child. She would not have that love for anyone else. Okay? So many times we use unconditional love, it is still conditional to something. So when you say, I practice unconditional love, and then you start complaining about the latest decisions that politicians took, and you can't feel love for someone who just deeply betrayed you. We want to have unconditional love, but we lie to ourselves. The true nature of unconditional love transcends the human. And this is where the Suru Prasuru comes. It discredits your human opinion about it. Om Suru Suru Prasuru Prasuru Suru Suru Yaswaha. I shine the glorious consciousness regardless of my state of being or my opinion about it. Any experience of untainted harmony, untainted love and consciousness goes through me, and it goes. And I can't decide who or what gets it. And if I want someone specific to get it, maybe they won't. Because I don't get to decide. And if there's someone I don't want them to have love because, they're assholes, I don't get to decide. It is an inspiring state of humility and letting go. I'm shining whether I want it or not. And I'm shining with no decision power on it. The ego is disengaged from the equation. The shining happens. And whatever I arrogantly called my consciousness, like if I owned it, consciousness streams in Brahma, never is ours, even the one we experience. So my consciousness now goes to someone, yeah, but it never was my consciousness. It's consciousness that I experience. All consciousness is a stream of Brahma. So it removes your identity from the consciousness and your presumption of property, that this is your consciousness. It's the consciousness you experience. It is all Brahma's consciousness. And it just shines. Om Suru Suru, Prasuru Prasuru, Suru Suru Yaswaha. Om Suru Suru, Prasuru Prasuru, Suru Suru Yaswaha. Hopefully you can feel that high state of being. Yes. Shine on. I give other classes about what consciousness is and our own experience of being conscious of ourselves gives us the illusion all our life that it is our consciousness. Consciousness is the ability to be aware, to gain information anyway, through senses, perception, through transmigration, revelation, divination, just gain information from memory. Like the moment that we are becoming aware of something, like 2 + 2 = 4, when we learn it, we gain information. When you feel the hard light shine on you in a meditation, you gain that information. You become aware of, you experience it, you feel it. So whatever the plane you acquire the information, you become aware. Okay? So all of this gives you the impression that it is your consciousness. But there's no property in consciousness. There's a universal stream of Brahma in all things, and it produces locally awakenings and awareness, information. And we know it because we experience it. We can accept it or deny it, but we know it. Okay? So it's not knowledge in the head. It's knowing through experiencing it. at any level. And that consciousness was never ours. It was an experience of consciousness. The experience is local. So we can say, this is my experience. But your consciousness experience it, is not yours as a property. It was the one streaming through you at the time. But everything is a universal stream of Brahma in terms of consciousness. Okay? Cool. So with this wisdom in mind, let it stream. Let's do the practice a few more times. Om Suru Suru Prasuru Prasuru Suru Suru Yaswaha. Shine. Om Suru Suru Prasuru Prasuru Suru Suru Yaswaha. Gloriously shine. Om Suru Suru Prasuru Prasuru Suru Suru Yaswaha. And the shine is just happening. Om Suru Suru Prasuru Prasuru Suru Suru Yaswaha. 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 Deep breath. Embrace it. Contemplate the Siddhi Prasuru. Prasuru. This is the glorious shining that surpasses your identity or your opinion or ego. Prasuru is beyond ourselves. Although we experience it, it is beyond us. It is humble. Prasuru. The glorious shine, uncontrolled, detached, as it is. Prasuru. All right. Good class, guys. Thanks. Last seal next week.